Hi, my name is Corey Biazzo, and I'm a practicing American civil litigation attorney, and you are watching Executive Coup. In today's episode, we're going to continue from episode 30 to arm our audience with knowledge of how to lawfully exercise your rights under the U.S. Constitution during these troubling, however temporary times. Today, we're going to discuss what to do if police or Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, stop your car. The Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution states, quote, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. While this means that law enforcement must generally have a warrant issued by a neutral and detached judge or magistrate upon a showing of probable cause, the U.S. Supreme Court, in a case called Carroll v. United States in 1924, stated in part, quote, if the search and seizure without a warrant are made upon probable cause, that is, upon a belief reasonably arising out of circumstances known to the seizing officer that an automobile or other vehicle contains that which by law is subject to seizure and destruction, the search and seizure are valid. The Supreme Court essentially stated that the police, without a warrant, so long as they have probable cause, may search a vehicle. The Supreme Court reasoned that it may not be practicable to secure a warrant to search a vehicle because the vehicle can be quickly moved out of the locality or jurisdiction in which the warrant must be sought. Therefore, it's important to keep in mind that if the police or ICE either observe illegal contraband in plain sight in your vehicle, other evidence of a crime, or they smell illegal substances such as marijuana, they will likely be lawfully permitted to search your vehicle without a search warrant and without your consent, so long as they are able to point to specific articulable facts to build probable cause to trigger the U.S. Supreme Court's automobile exception to the Fourth Amendment warrant requirement. Keep in mind that, obviously there's many jurisdictions where states have legalized marijuana. In those cases, state law enforcement officers, obviously could not use marijuana as a pretext to say they have probable cause that contraband is in the car to trigger the automobile exception to the Fourth Amendment. Circling back to the marijuana example again, if the police smell marijuana emanating from your car, they will likely be permitted to search any part of your car which could contain marijuana, which is basically your entire car, inclusive of bags, all compartments. They can, rip your dashboard apart potentially to locate it. Also good to know that a police canine could run a hit around your car during a routine traffic stop, so long as it does not prolong the original intention of the traffic stop. And if the dog hits for drugs, other contraband, that would trigger the automobile exception as well in most cases. Moving forward, if the police or ICE attempt to stop your car, pull over in a safe, preferably well-lit area if it is dark outside, and stop as soon as you can safely stop your vehicle. Don't flee. Turn your car off, then turn on the cabin lights in your car if it is dark so the police or ICE can see you. You don't want to give them the appearance that you maybe have a weapon or that you may otherwise present a threat to officer safety. Grab your phone and place it in your cup holder or another location and record your encounter. Remember, recording the police and ICE while they're acting within their official capacities in public is protected by the First Amendment. Plus, if something goes wrong with the stop, you have a record that you can provide your lawyer. Further, police generally need a warrant or your consent to access the contents of your phone, and they could not make you delete the recording. Finally, roll down your driver's side window and be courteous, respectful, and cooperative. If it is the police, be prepared to present a copy of your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance. The police are permitted to ask for these items, and you are required to provide them if you're driving. If you're driving a rental car, have the rental reservation documents handy. Never present fake documentation or identification. Be aware that the police or ICE may lawfully request that the driver and passengers exit the car for officer safety pursuant to the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling in two cases named Pennsylvania versus Mims out of 1977 and Maryland versus Wilson, 1997. Officers may then pat you down for weapons if they have reasonable suspicion that you may be armed and pose a threat to them. If you are not a U.S. citizen, but you are legally in the United States, federal law requires you to carry your immigration paperwork with you if you are stopped over the age of 18. If you have valid documents, present them if you are stopped by ICE. If you are not a U.S. citizen and you are not in the United States legally, remain calm, do not answer any questions. Honestly, shut your mouth. Do not resist, run, lie, or provide false documents. Stay even-keeled and do not answer any questions. The Fifth Amendment of the United States states in part, quote, "No person shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself." This means that the government does not have the authority to make you answer questions that may elicit incriminating responses from you. Therefore, do not answer any questions about your day, where you're coming from, where you're going, your immigration status, how much you had to drink tonight, or anything for that matter. However, be respectful in declining to answer any questions. For example, say, "Officer, I respectfully decline to not answer any questions based on the Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution." Additionally, do not consent to any searches. The Sixth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution states in part, quote, "In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to have the assistance of counsel for his defense." This means that you have the right to speak with an attorney before answering any questions from the police or ICE. Finally, if you are arrested, make it clear that you refuse to answer any questions until you've had the opportunity to speak with a lawyer. Immediately contact an attorney as soon as possible if you believe your rights have been violated by a government official. If a state or local official violates your constitutional rights, you may have a claim where you could recover damages under 42 United States Code Section 1983, titled Civil Action for Deprivation of Rights. If a federal official violates your constitutional rights, you may have a claim where you could recover damages, which is called a Bivens claim, under the 1973 U.S. Supreme Court precedent from a case named Bivens versus 6 unknown agents. Keep following Executive Coup for further updates related to this matter and others related to the apparent executive coup attempt that is unfolding in the U.S. federal government at the direction of President Donald J. Trump. Thank you.